So we were in Seattle, and we used to just every morning, or not every morning, but once in a while, we'd just go down to the market there, and they were just there's these four guys just begging for money, and they're just singing their hearts out. We're like, dude, you should sing on our album, and they did. We dragged them into the studio. Sprinkle's like, who are these guys? I'm like, I listened to them, they're amazing, and then we just got them to sing. It was awesome.
Welcome to Church Jams Now, the podcast where three former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music of the 90s and 2000s. If you're a little thrown off, I am not Kylan tonight, or this is not Kylan. I am Josh, being Kylan for you tonight. Kylan's taking the night off, so I'm going to be your host. It's a little different, but it's going to be fun. I'm smiling, even if it's the end of the world. But it's not the end of the world because I am joined by my co-host, TJ Smith, whom I would love to say hello to. TJ.
Hello, Josh. I'll just say you probably thought I had nothing left to show, but I'm going to be everything you ever wanted.
That's all I can possibly ask for. Thank you,
That's
TJ.
right.
That's great. And
There's like 14 more.
It's true. Should we bring them out?
It's over.
Bring them out. Yeah. I was going to say the one thing I have left to do in this introduction is introduce our guest, Mr. Jason
You
Dunn.
mean the show?
I mean, he is.
Oh, that was a perfect one.
The man,
Low-hanging
the
fruit,
myth,
and you did not accept
show.
it. Hello, guys. Thanks for the warm welcome.
What's up, man?
Nothing.
course.
What's up with you guys?
Just to
Dude.
head up. Zero things are up with us.
Zero.
You see him?
Is-
Yeah.
Do you see I'm growing a mustache?
I do. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks good from this camera. Yeah, like dang.
There was something on my mind, and it was your mustache. So,
You're kind of like, you're pushing like upper 20s now with the mustache. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Here's the thing with facial hair. Like as a kid, from like the time you can like kind of grow like kind of like those crappy whiskers, you're like, oh, I want to grow a beard. And then you can never actually grow a good beard. And then when you can grow a good beard, it just turns gray. So you're like, that was like the waste of like 20 years.
it's the thing you
of trying
don't
to-
want.
Yeah. Oh, I just keep a mustache now.
There you go.
It's a good look.
That's
I
my
think it
rant.
works.
Rant over.
Facial hair 101 with Jason Dunn. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
real problem. I got a lot of gray in mine as well. So
Dude, you got a great
See,
beard.
You got to rock the stash though, which you are.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's get back on track here. I'm saying
Sorry,
this
yeah.
to myself mostly because, yeah,
Yeah,
I take it for
Josh.
granted without
What the
Kylan.
heck, man?
Kylan always steers the ship so well. We dog on him. a
I
little
don't
bit.
have this under control.
He really would, But
Yeah,
I'm-
he's not a chaos gremlin at all. That guy,
It's true.
never.
That is true.
Never going off on tangents, never talking about obscure films from the 20s, Scarlet Pimpernel. None of that is Kylan's MO, ever.
And, yeah, he's always keeping us right on track. And
Yep.
yeah,
So
without
do
him,
your
we'll
best,
see where we
Josh.
go. I will. I have big shoes to fill. But we're joined by not new guest, returning guest, Jason, who joined us
Yeah.
to talk about Letters to the President for its 20th anniversary. And you know what? We're bringing it back to talk about because their follow-up record is also turning 20 years this year, which is very exciting and pretty crazy. And so
crazy.
Jason's coming back to talk about it with us. We're excited to have you, Jason.
Hey, you know what? I'm appreciative of you having me for real. Like, no one ever talks to me anymore, so it's like cool. It makes me feel good.
That's not true
It's
at
such a
all.
sad
Yeah,
life,
we
man.
talked about this off mic.
Nobody
before-
likes
we
me.
talked about this before we started recording, but you've been busy touring, playing shows, so we're happy to pin you down now that you're back home. In between,
Dude,
before you go back out again, we're like,
I was
we
just
had to-
mixing. I stopped mixing to do this, and then I'm going to go back to mixing. It's like it's crazy. but
Nice.
It's been fun.
That's exciting. I wonder
Sweet.
what you could be mixing. You could talk about it now, or you can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, we better talk about Smile. It's the end of the world.
Okay, we can save it for later.
Fair enough.
Yeah. WWKD. What would Kylan do? You know?
I think you would toss it over to me for my research corner, which feels a little weird tossing it over to myself.
So you're going to toss it to yourself?
I think
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I have to. So
Nothing wrong.
that's what I'm going to do here. let's go to Josh's research corner, which I guess is my own corner here. So, just as a refresher,
I'm enjoying this a lot, by the way.
I'm sure you are. I'm kind of just like here trying to do it. We're talking about Hawk Nelson, of course, from Peterborough, Ontario, for their second record, Smile, It's the End of the World, which was released April 4th of 2006. It's celebrating the 20th anniversary. It's very exciting. This is I can't remember if we talked about, this is your second LP, Asterisk. Jason, do you count Saturday Rock Action as the first LP, or?
It's a good question.
No,
that
okay.
I don't know. I never had till right now. Now I'm not sure. You decide.
Okay. We'll say it's the second LP, so then people can the people who call it like your third LP can be like, no, Saturday Rock Action counts.
Yeah, there's those people, but we'll disregard that for now.
Yeah, exactly.
We know the truth.
Hey, if you say it, and that's what it is. So it was released on Tooth and Nail Records. It was produced by Mr. Aaron Sprinkle, mixed by Jared McNeely, and mastered by Brian Gardner. So not a Tooth and Nail Trinity record with.
I didn't even know that, so thank you. That's great. I know who Brian Gardner is. He sounds like a legend, though.
He sounds great. Yeah, I mean his mastering sounds great. He is a master of mastering, much like Troy Glessner, but he did not master this one. Charts and performance. This one I have it charted at 75 on Billboard 200, which was y'all's third highest charting when you were still on the ascent, which is very cool. And Billboard Christian have this awesome. at number 3, which is very cool.
Oh,
solid.
I don't know any of this stuff. This is fascinating for me.
I could just tell you, like, oh man, you were number 1 for like 8 weeks.
I gotta call my mom
and then
let her know what I did.
Honestly, Jason, we thought we would do this episode for you, for your benefit, just to school you on an album that you made.
You should do Hawk Nelson trivia and watch me fail. Who wrote?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is the next line of this song?
Yeah, pass. Next question. What is your favorite color?
You wrote these lyrics. And that about wraps up my research, but I did just want to also, we'd like to talk about artwork, and I did want to talk about the artwork for this because it's super cool whenever it folds out and you have like the huge illustration of all the different like average lifespans of this, and what are they, like a cell phone call, a cassette tape, a stereo, a skyscraper. That was really cool. So I was curious, did you have anything to like do with that, or was that just like the guy who did the artwork just came up with it?
I believe that was all Ryan Clark.
Okay,
nice.
So he did our first 2. Anyways, I know that the Tooth and Nail trifecta is actually, it goes beyond that with like all the artwork and stuff. Like
you're very
Ryan
right.
Clark and all those guys were unbelievable. Or I don't even know if they're still doing that kind of stuff. They probably should be. I mean, Demon Hunter's bonkers too, but like the stuff they did behind the scenes for like all those Tooth and Nail albums were unbelievable. So
no, yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna give Ryan Clark credit for that, even if it wasn't him that came up with that.
I think it's does this name ring a bell? Jason Powers? Does that ring a bell for you?
No, but I'm gonna give Ryan Clark credit.
He's actually credited, but yeah. And then Don did the game on Is My Friend. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, gotta give him props.
So see,
that was your first round of Hawk Nelson trivia, and I don't think you. We'll make it up from here.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to talk about personally. For me, this record was one of the first CDs that I purchased with my own money.
Wow!
And so it was really big in that regard. I think you were beaten. The one that because it came out a year earlier, was you were beaten by your friend Trevor with Art of Breaking, because it came out in 2005, and I bought that one. So I think that was the first one I purchased with my own money.
That's money well spent, though. Come on.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, and that's relevant here because he worked a good deal on this record. Am I right?
That's correct. T-Rock.
He was quite a collaborative.
Yeah, of course.
Force
the first
on this one,
especially. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a exciting record for me because this was a really big one whenever I was like first getting to like, oh, I'm buying my own music now because I'm 14 years old kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this was always a really big one for me. So I'm very excited to talk about this record.
It's so funny. I probably shouldn't say this, but like I kind of forgot. Like I didn't forget it was his record, but I'm like, I was reminded that it was turning 20 this year. So I was like, oh, what songs are on this? I'm looking like, this is not that. It's not one of my favorite albums we've ever done. There's some, I don't know, like the song Something on My Mind. That's a pure filler song. Like that is not a good song. Nothing Left to Show. Oh, like I could have been a way better. I don't know. We could have done way better. It's
Okay.
over. I couldn't even tell you that song goes right now.
Wow.
Anyways, there are some good songs on there, but there's a lot of songs I'm like, wow, I can't believe that one made the cut.
Interesting. Okay, I mean, well,
That's funny.
we can get into it because I mean, like, obviously, it's a big thing when you're getting into your sophomore record, and like, people say like you have your whole lives to write your first record, and then you have like 2 years to write your second record, so it's a big deal. So, I would love to know like what were going back to that time. What were things that you guys were thinking and like wanting to accomplish? If there were certain like directions like musically that you wanted to go, or like what were y'all thinking going into this?
Yeah, and you actually nailed that, man. Like you have your whole life to write your first album. You couldn't have said that more perfect. After Letters, we were on the road like full time. Like we were always on tour. We were always just kind of doing our thing. And then we're like, hey, we need to record another album. Like, how are we writing songs? We're like on the road. Like we didn't. That's something we never really thought about, right? So I remember we took some time off and we ended up just writing a bunch. And Trevor was a huge help for this, and a lot of it in just helping with direction. In terms of like Hawk Nelson, like lineage, I was like the hardcore guy. Like I was rooted into pop punk more than probably anybody else in the band. Especially the band was new too, because we had lost our original two of our original members, Matt and Dave. So me, Matt, and Dave grew up together, and we were really into like Blink and Green Day, and like those were like our bands. So the three of us were like pop punk kids. And then Daniel kind of joined us later, and he kind of played the part, you know what I mean? But like he listened to different music from what we listened to. So there's already a bit of a different dynamic in terms of like style.
What was he into?
I remember he was like really into like Bon Iver.
Okay.
It's kind of out there, right? But like
Yeah.
he was kind of like a chameleon. He would listen to like he knew what our sound and style was, right? So
yeah, he had a diverse enough like taste.
Yeah, he was just smarter than us
Musical
with
style.
other music other than what we would listen to. And when we added Steingard and Aaron Tosti for Smile, and John was with us. Well, even he outlived me, and so Jonathan was kind of more. He wasn't into pop punk at all. He was very much more like emo. He had some really really cool like albums he did on his own, which I was totally into. Like he was very like Dashboard Confessional, you know what I mean? But like he brought a lot to the table in terms of like his guitar playing. He wasn't thinking like inside the box of like a Tom DeLonge. You know what I mean? He would just play like things that I would never think of because I'm a 4-chord kind of guy. So that really helped. It really helped make the album stronger, I think, and the band, because as we progressed from Letters onto when I finished with Crazy Love, you could hear the difference for sure.
That's so funny because like not being into pop punk and then be like, hey, do you want to join our pop punk band? Like, was there any like reservation, or like did he be like, okay, but I want to, like, did he just jump in, or was he kind of like, yeah, but I also see us going this direction?
No, we had John. He filled in for us a few times for David because David got married when he was like 12. Yeah, like he got married super young. Like we were like, if you think about it in hindsight, like we were children. Like I had just turned 19 and we were on tour. You know, I was still in high school and they were like, I was the youngest in the band. They were trying to convince my parents to let me go on the road and finish school on the road. Like obviously that wasn't going to happen, but like we were kids. But like, so David got married early and like was doing like all this premarital counseling and like honeymoon and stuff. So he was gone a lot while he was in the band. So Steingard would fill in quite a bit. And I remember this one time we were trying to fly from LA back to our home to do like a local show, and no one could make it back but me. So I just called Steingard like, dude, can you meet me in Peterborough? And he lived 2 hours away. I'm like, can you meet me and can we play like an acoustic set? And we did like this Hawk show, just him and I, before he was in Hawk Nelson. And that was kind of like him into the band. Like, not that he wasn't into pop punk, but like, just, it wasn't his like go-to, you know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Right.
again, we kind of formed a new sound with the new members we had and continued.
Yeah, and Aaron, I got to know about this nickname, Squid. What's
I also need to know that. Dude, I don't know. Like he was the kid drummer in PAX 217. And that was his name in PAX, was Squid. And
so the name predated his joining Hawk Nelson. It was a PAX 217 nickname, maybe from his brother.
Probably.
Possibly.
You know, I hung out with Tossie like on tour like 3 weeks ago. I should have asked him. Because I heard him.
Does he still use the nickname?
Well, I heard someone introduce him as Squid to somebody else. I'm like, oh yeah,
okay.
He's still Squid. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was just one of those childhood nicknames he's just always had.
All right.
Well, and it works within the Hawk Nelson context too, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
He's a drummer. He's Squid. You know.
Yeah. Totally.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, I definitely feel the difference in the new lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Like Letters is a killer, like quote debut, if we want to call it that, record. Certainly, on a major label, but like there's a level up. Like I think it's noticeable on Smile, and it's exciting. I'm
glad people thought that, because I have reservations still. Like, it went harder.
It
you
did.
hear there's a lot of harder songs, but then in the same sense, there was some not as hard. Like Something on My Mind. I don't know why we recorded it like that. I still don't get it.
Okay, so did you have these reservations when the record came out, or was this like obviously developing over time?
Making it?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Like back in the day, like even during Letters and the first starting out, one of my favorite bands was Something Corporate. Remember those guys?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just thought, and I mean, Relient K did a lot of it too, where there's a lot more piano-driven songs, which I think are cool. Like piano is like my first instrument, so I think when 36 Days got added to Letters kind of last minute, I think Sprinkle was like, dang, like this kid can play the piano. You should definitely do more piano songs. That was a conversation him and I had that in private, like after Letters. And so that was kind of what motivated me to do more piano stuff. But now that I look back, I'm like, we probably shouldn't have done that. But it's fine.
Well, I'll say
too late now.
On the listening side of things, like I'm really glad that texture is there and that your style and your approach to piano exists on this album. I think it's a strength.
Oh yeah.
And I don't disagree.
Whatever that's worth.
I just wish I had better parts.
Okay. Yeah, I could
like Something on My Mind should not be a piano-driven song. There should be piano moments, but it should not be that. Like I don't know. That's just so weird to me. Anyway,
okay, yeah. Well, let's talk about that song, because that song it's in my notes because it feels like it could be in a musical. Like it has that whole like energy to it. It's got some call and response, and then like the never ever pull my lever. Like you could just see someone standing on a balcony just like singing this out to the world.
When there's something on my mind with a cane on.
Well, yeah. I was gonna ask, like, what inspired the sort of like Clash, Sex Pistols, Dropkick Murphys, like Eva, pull my lever.
It's like a conglomeration of all the things we listen to.
Really? What influences would you cite? Like I threw some bands out that just seemed like touch points for that kind of vocal affect.
Yeah,
what would you mention?
I still am. I'm a huge Irish punk fan. I always have been, like Dropkick Murphys, Flogging Molly, the Pogues. I've always even pre-Hawk Nelson, I grew up listening to that kind of music. And I don't know, I've just always followed that kind of music. And there's a lot, even later on in Hawk, there's a lot of stuff that you can hear that more, like Tally Ho, Final Toast, all those are kind of in that vein too, right? So, melodically, yeah, there's definitely some of that older like punk sound that you just kind of throw little blips in just to kind of pay reference to, I guess.
Totally. Well, I like it because it's a fun little departure to like your normal vocal delivery, right? And it's like, where did this come from? And it's a treat, like
treats. That's a treat.
It's a curveball, but it's a treat.
I like to think of fun. Like your pronunciation of it was because you talked about on Letters that Sprinkle like made you hit sorry a lot, so you weren't
Yeah.
saying the Canadian way. And I was like, this is the next iteration of that. Of like, okay, you got to
Yes.
sing it this way
For
for
real.
these
Yeah.
three
There's
words
a lot
now.
of that. Yeah. I still get that even now. I've been recording vocals for more than half of my life, and I'm still like, I just don't know how to say that word. I'm overthinking it, you know?
It
So
sings
just say with a
differently.
British accent, you know?
Exactly. That's so funny.
It's a good strategy. When in doubt, be British.
Yeah, that's right.
That song is very fascinating. Just within like the Hawk discography, it is interesting. But I did want to ask, just like approaching this record and writing one on the road, and then you have new, like obviously you got Steingard, you got Squid, and then still writing with Trevor. What did all that look like? Like, were y'all jamming things together as a band, and then you would write lyrics, or did you come with like, oh, I have these like songs on acoustic that you presented?
Yeah, both
iterations?
actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, Trev was a huge help just in terms of like leadership. In terms like he'd done this before, so he knows these guys are going to be sweating bullets when the label tells them they need a new album. They're not ready at all. He's like, you know what I mean? Like he kind of could see that in foresight. Like I'm there for them, and he was hugely influential in Letters for sure. Smile still a huge part, but like I know maybe we talked about this before, but there's always this weird like I got so tired of being looked at as Trevor's little baby band. You know what I mean? And so we wanted to pull away from him, or at least I wanted to pull away from him just in that aspect where like these guys are just Trevor McNeven found these guys and he's giving them a chance, you know, and that's what we heard all the time. And I just got tired of that. And so
Well, at some point you want to like define your own identity and be peers
correct.
to someone that you see as a great collaborator, but like not like somebody
sure.
that you're just under their wing.
For
That
this
makes
one,
sense.
For this one, we felt that, and then I felt it especially in the third one. And the third one, we kind of split completely. And I don't think anything was weird about it. I'm pretty sure that made sense. I also don't think my communication skill was very good back then. So I hope he wasn't hurt or his feelings were hurt in any of that. But I think if I was helping a band out and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do," I hope I would understand too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I feel like a third record is a very natural point to be like, we're gonna really come into our own, and this one being like
And we'll
the
talk about that
transition
in 2
point
years, I'm sure,
makes
right?
sense.
Naturally.
Yeah.
We're 2 for 2 so
whatever.
far.
Yeah.
2028, that's right.
What were some ways on this one though that you feel like you guys as a band and maybe you as a songwriter were finally kind of coming into your own and like taking some
What a great
ownership?
question, TJ.
That is a great
Thanks,
question.
Josh.
I don't know. I don't think we've found, or at least I'm only speaking from my personal experience.
Sure.
I don't think we had found our niche yet.
Okay, so you're still like working on it. You're still like finding it.
I thought Letters was a pretty good show of what we were or what we could have been. I felt I liked during that time in between Letters and Smile. I remember what was that huge Under Oath album? They're Only Chasing Safety or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that the yeah? So that came out, and I would blast that thing like on repeat nonstop. So far to the point where like I ended up like, oh, I want to get tattoos, and I pierced my lip, and like I was like on tour. I ended up like my voice was getting like rough, you know, just from being on tour all the time. So like a lot of these songs would be like, I ended up being like half screaming them, which kind of formed like a different sound for us as a band with me screaming them louder. And then they would start making the guitar riffs going a little bit heavier. And like, you could feel like this natural transition from Letters to Smile. And that kind of happened on its own, just from playing a lot more and touring together. And it helped with the writing too. Right. But I don't know if it was if it was real or if it was just how it went just from playing so often and also being motivated by what you're listening to, which obviously happens with any band. But I don't know.
But the way you sort of translate that into your own music is still, I think there's something to be said for that, I guess is my point. Yeah. Like you still found a way to make it your own and to like harness that energy that you were feeling from this other music and from your live connection as a band and use it to inform the songs on this next record. Is that Fair to
Yeah,
say.
and you bounce off your audience too, right? Like when you're trying out stuff, you want to see what your fan base is into, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, they kind of like these loud, like rowdy moments. I'm like, I kind of like this too. Maybe we should incorporate that in the future. Getting Josh Head from Emery on Nothing Left to Show.
Oh, 100%. I was just gonna say that. Like having him inject some energy into that song is such
Yeah,
a cool choice. How did that come about?
I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure they were slated to go into the studio right after us to work on their second album. I think they were
Nice.
working on, was it The Question?
Question would have come out a little bit before.
Or was it okay? So
Yeah.
whatever. They were in the studio around the same time as us. So Sprinkle just suggested it and he just did it, which is sick. Because I'm a huge Emery
I
fan as
love
well.
that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it really works.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
And what about the quartet, the old men on the quartet in the show?
Yeah. The,
Oh
like
yeah, the
gospel
gospel
barbershop
singer,
kind of thing.
exactly.
They were homeless.
No, really?
Yes.
Really?
They were homeless guys.
Just
Are
some
you in
houseless
Seattle?
dudes. Okay.
Where are you? Are you
I'm outside of Portland.
okay? So we were in Seattle, and we used to just every morning, or not every morning, but once in a while, we'd just go down to the market there,
Yeah.
and they were just there's these four guys just begging for money, and they're just singing their hearts out. We're like, dude, you should sing on our album, and they did.
I mean, they're great.
we
Yeah.
we dragged them into the studio. Sprinkle's like, who are these guys? I'm like, I listened to them, they're amazing. And then we just got them to sing. It was awesome.
That's incredible.
Nobody
I mean,
was
they
on
crushed
board
it.
with it. Brandon, he was like,
I
what are you
mean-
guys doing? Like, just trust us. It's so cool.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to chase the idea, right? Like chase the
It's-
muse.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission at times.
Well, and Brandon's probably thinking
Yeah.
like, are these guys going to
Like,
try to
what
come
is
after
going on?
like some profits from the record or something like legally?
Why does that guy not have an eye? He's got like a glass eye. And there's like, yeah.
But hear this note that he can hit. Hear
Yeah,
this harmony,
there's
dude. Come on, like that's
It
so.
was
No, I
beautiful.
mean, they rule. Like I would listen to an album of just that. Full
Yeah,
stop.
same.
So
Forget
that
the guy's-
was
I think his name was like Big Willie or something like that. I think that was his name.
yeah, because that's what I want to ask.
Willie
Like,
Williams?
was the gospel like injection of it? Was that was y'all's idea, or was that I was
Yeah.
like, is it a label thing, or just y'all being like,
No,
this
we
would be
just
cool
we just
here?
heard them singing. They were like busking for money. They're just singing
Yeah.
at the market, and we're like, "Hey, you guys want to sing on our album?" I'm like, I don't know. That's literally how it started. They just show up to the studio. Sprinkle's like, "What is going on?"
That's
And
incredible.
we just let him rip. It was beautiful.
That's so
I want
funny.
Sprinkle's take on this. We got to get Sprinkle back on
Yeah.
soon, so I can ask him.
Yeah,
Hey man, do you remember when Jason and the boys brought in a barbershop quartet from the Seattle market?
Oh,
Oh, man,
to sing on the record.
that's
That's great, dude.
funny. That's a great.
I could not have asked for a better story. That's incredible.
Oh, that's good.
I mean that the 1, 2, 3 punch, I would say, of the one thing I have left to show and bring them out definitely has a big like live set feeling. Like those
Yeah.
songs feel like exactly what you're referring to, of like playing things live, feeding off of the audience and their energy, and like what kind of songs do we want to play for our live set? Like those songs
Yeah.
feel so
Yeah.
potent
It's
in that
funny.
way, you know?
It's funny you say that because even like after recording Letters and we tried touring the album, there are some certain songs, like Things We Go Through. That was like one of my favorite songs to record, but it just didn't translate live. It's a weird
Right.
BPM. So it's like it's not fast enough, and it just didn't vibe with the crowd. And it sucks because I
Yeah.
love that song. And it just didn't translate well live.
Right. And then it's a whole art form to find those things that do work, right? And to
Yeah.
like
100%.
build that into the next record. Yeah, that must have been really interesting to try to like approach things that way.
Yeah. Oh, I got it all figured out now.
Oh yeah, of course.
Totally.
Do you feel like when y'all were working on things that I guess like one thing I am always curious about is like with a collaborator like Trevor, where he's not in the band, but he's like foundational in a way for like, you know, you like where you guys were, like how you were kind of navigating your career trajectory as a group,
Yeah.
and like your sound and all of that, and wanting to maintain your own voice and like creative vision. what did that relationship look like? And like in the studio in real time, like how did y'all work together? Were there ever moments where
And
it's
is
like,
Trevor like in the studio with you and Sprinkle whenever y'all are recording, or is this like pre-pro kind of back in Canada?
I can't remember. For Letters, he was there the full time. I remember that
okay,
much. I think for Smile, I think he was just in and out. I also seem to remember like there was one time he came in and he was like completely on vocal rest and his voice was just gone. I just
oh
remember
no,
that, but I don't think he was there for the entire Smile album. I think he
okay.
Okay.
was there more for pre-pro, which we did a lot of that back at home too here. So
And that was with the band. You guys were like kind of just ripping stuff,
yeah,
and then Trevor would come in and like help shape it, or
yeah,
how did
and
that look?
sorry, one thing I remember, a thing I loved about Trev, and this is before like iPhones there, he would send us these like it wasn't Napster, but he would send us these like epic like playlists of like all these
Nice,
cool songs. Like listen to these songs for inspiration, and he'd send like
cool.
30, and we're like, oh, these are great songs. Like, oh yeah, I remember this song, and I that was like one of my favorite things, and I would love to create a Spotify playlist of all the bangers he would send us, and
Oh
maybe
man,
one day
The
I'll do that,
tastemaker.
but. Yeah,
that's great.
I'm trying to think of where we were. Oh, it was in this town. Actually, my church I used to work at, it was their old office space. But before it was the office, it was an old radio station, like abandoned warehouse, and we did all
Oh
of our
wow.
pre-pro there.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
And so
that's
that was
cool.
pretty cool. It's again, this is 20 years ago, so I'm trying to remember which album did which pre-pro because we did so much of it,
Right.
right? But I'm certain it was Smile. So because we rented a hotel,
That's
and I'm
cool.
like. I just want to go stay at my parents' house because like we've been away for like half a year. Like, can I? But I was like,
Right.
no, we got to work on this. I'm like, this is weird. This feels odd. But
It's just
so I do
it's
remember.
just right there, guys. Like,
Yeah, it's like, Dad, can you just pick me up? I'm in Peterborough. I'm on Lansdowne.
we got a hotel because we're a big fancy
Yeah,
band now. You
yeah.
know?
You
Yeah,
got to pay for this hotel.
exactly.
Coming out of the budget.
Hey, I'm just perusing Collide Records, their inventory,
As one does.
as one does. You know, just what I do, hanging out on the show. And I wanted to ask you, are you a Damien Gerardo fan?
Yeah, I like that guy.
I
He's
like
cool.
that guy too. I like that guy too. Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite record? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you have a favorite record from him?
You know, I don't. I'm kind of a fair weather. I like all of it. Like there hasn't been one track that I've been like, I don't like this. There also is not a record that stands out among the others for me.
Well,
But what about you?
allow me to take this opportunity to maybe suggest a record that might stand out to you. You may be familiar
Okay.
with it, but his 2018 record, The Horizon Just Laughed. It's really good. I know. He obviously goes back a while, and so if you're a classic Damien Gerardo fan, you're probably like, "Why aren't you talking about I Break Cheers or something like that?" But this was my introduction to him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It came at a time when right before my first son was born, and I discovered this record and really just fell in love with it, and then dove into his catalog. But so I don't know where it stands for people, but this is my favorite Damien Gerardo record. One song that I really love, man, is The Late Great Washington State, which is kind of, I think, of his ode as he moved out of Seattle for like, I think for the first time in his life, he moved to California.
Right.
And so he's just talking about that, which I have to say, in a year that had Me Without You's, Untitled, Thrice's Palms, and Foxing's Nearer My God, that was my favorite song of the entire year of 2018 because, man, it just
Wow.
really hits you in the feels. And even though I've never even been to Washington State, but I was like, man,
Yeah.
this is probably what it's like if you're leaving your home that you've always lived in.
Well, I guess I'll listen to it and let you know since I
You
live
should
here.
listen to it. Yeah, you would know. And a great way you can do that, TJ, is to go to colliderecords.com where they have the vinyl, which I have, which is a great vinyl
Okay.
package. And they also have the CD, which I don't have. So maybe I'll have to pick that up. But if you're
Alright.
interested, you can get it with our promo code, which is if you go use your fingers, add your items to cart,
Use those fingies.
use those little digis to type in Church Jams Now, all one word at checkout to get 20% off your
Okay.
first order.
20?
20% off.
It's crazy.
The Horizon is not laughing at that deal because that's a serious deal. Let me tell you right now.
Sorry, I was laughing. I apologize.
Don't do that.
That's
you and the
very
Horizon
serious.
need to stop it.
Cut it out.
Yes.
20% off is nothing to joke about.
Nothing to joke about. So you can pick up that record, and they also, let me tell you, they have a ton of other Damien Gerardo stuff too. So if you like the old stuff, if you like the new stuff, whatever you like from him, they've got it all. Once again, colliderecords.com, use promo code ChurchJams now for 20% off your first order.
Josh.
What's up, Kylan?
Not much. I'm just reminiscing about the golden age of 2000s pop punk.
Oh, man. I would love to talk about that sometime on the show.
I know. If only there was a podcast.
If only there was a podcast.
Yeah. But, I mean, the hard thing about it is, bands like Reliant K, MXPX, Five Iron Frenzy, all bands we've talked about on our show.
Multiple times.
I just wish that there was like a modern version of that, I wish there was like the way Tooth and Nail used to release like faith-based punk rock music. I wish there was a label today that did that. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist.
Well, Kylan, I think I have some great news for you.
What?
Such a label does exist. Let me tell you about a label called Small Step Records.
Okay.
Let me tell you, they support active faith-based bands playing pop punk, skate punk, and emo. So all of that great 2000s pop punk sound that you have been yearning for, they got it.
Oh, that's amazing. You know what? Let me reverse this on you. I actually know about Small Step Records. And did you know...
Whoa, what a plot twist.
That they're actually a registered 501c3 nonprofit. So every dollar that the label makes actually goes back into supporting the artists and bands.
See, that's something that I don't know if that's a normal thing about labels. I'm not a big label guy. I've never done the label thing, but I have to imagine that's not normal practice.
I doubt it. Honestly, that is one of the coolest things to me about Small Step Records, is that they like their whole thing is just elevating and helping bands with their promotion and their physical packaging and stuff like that. But all of the rights for all of the music stays with the band, which, let me tell you, that is not typical either.
Oh, so they don't have to record like a Taylor's version a couple years later to get their rights back?
Unless they want to. Okay. Maybe they'll all do it just for fun.
When they have the rights, they can do whatever they want, I guess. So They can do it or not, which is great.
That's right. So actually, the music that's been playing, that we've been listening to, faked you
tell
out.
me about it. It sounds pretty good.
I know. You thought it was from the golden age of 2000s pop punk.
I thought we were going to be covering that on this week's episode.
No way. It's actually a new single by the band Cold Streets. It's their new single called Over and Over.
Which, let me tell you, that's exactly what I want to do to the song, is play it over and over.
Over and over.
Appropriately named.
Yeah. It's how I want to listen to this song.
I really appreciate them naming it that way, just to make it easier on me.
For sure. It's not often that bands have songs that answer the question, how often should I play this song?
Yeah, what should I do with this?
What should I do with this piece of art?
This piece of music, yeah. So if you've liked listening to Over and Over by Cold Streets, use your little fingers to go over to smallsteprecords.com and go peruse their store, grab a couple things, throw them in your cart, and you can use the discount code ChurchJamsNow, all one word, for 20% off anything in their web store.
That's actually pretty incredible. Their web store is awesome.
It is pretty incredible.
So I use promo code ChurchJamsNow for 20% off everything in their web store?
All one word.
Perfect. All right, let's get back to the show so I can listen to this song over and over.
Over and over. So what was it like going in once again to, because I imagine going into Letters, you're like first time in a big studio and working with you're meeting Sprinkle for the first time, guy who's made all these records. What's it like going in the second time when you're obviously a little bit more familiar with it? Were you still nervous in a way, or was it a lot easier just to jump right in and get to work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been hanging out a bit now. I'm a social butterfly. Me and Sprinkle, we hit it off immediately. And I did the same with Bendith and every producer who we've worked with. I'm like, you want to have a chemistry, right? So you spend the first little while just kind of getting to know each other, but then we hit it off really well. And I'm not a demanding person. I want what's best for everybody. I want what's best for the album. I want what's best for our career and the sound. And in my opinion, we hired Aaron Sprinkle because he's the best in the business, right? So I went with the attitude of I trust this guy, and he's going to turn these songs into something glorious, something better than we could ever do. And he's going to bring our songs from here, and he's going to bring them to here. And I do remember a lot in letters, a lot of the other bandmates would be like, "Hey, I don't know, man. I think we should just do it." And he'd be like, "Get out of here." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's not tell him how to do his job." Like, you know what I mean? So I always I think because he knew I trusted him, it made our working relationship that much easier. And over time, he's like, "What do you think about this?" And he would ask me questions. And I watched him like a hawk, no pun intended, just like in terms of like his background vocals and his harmony choices. Like I live for that stuff. And all my harmonies now when I self-produce stuff, it's all because of what Aaron Sprinkle taught me, you know? So I love that guy.
That's great.
I wanted to redo Smile at the End of the World, a 2026 version. And I talked to Sprinkle for like an hour, like a few months ago, and we just had a great chat. But let's just say he doesn't meet an independent artist budget. So I was like, "Oh, okay, that sounds awesome, man. Yeah, I'll let you know.
I'll crunch some numbers. I'll get back to you."
Some number crunches here.
Circle back.
Yeah.
Would that have been like a acoustic, or were you thinking like kind of just the
No, I'm
the
doing
full gamut?
acoustic stuff now.
Okay,
I'm doing a Smile acoustic album now. I'm there. I said it.
Cool.
That's what I've been mixing.
Okay.
So-
I mean, it's like the
Gets out of
perfect
the
plug
bag.
for this episode.
How is that for a segue?
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
I love it. I like that it's like just at a random point in the interview. It's not at the beginning. It's not at the end. So
Yeah,
people really got to pay
I'm not supposed to say
attention.
anything. What am I doing?
Listen.
Dude, your agent's
Oh,
going to
no.
come after you for this.
It's right. All my agents. You know?
It's true. I did, before we can get into some of that as well, I did want to ask, you mentioned harmonies. Is that Sprinkle, there's a harmony in Bring 'Em Out at like
Yes.
2 minutes. Okay, I was like, that's got to be
It's
him.
because usually I did all my harmonies, but Bring 'Em Out was recorded in like 3 minutes because we were in the middle of tour. And we just finished a festival in Northern California. We flew to Seattle for honestly 3 hours just to record. And then we had to fly back to our next show. And so I'm like, I don't have time to track harmonies. Sprinkle's like, I got it. So that's the one song he recorded harmonies on.
Oh, okay. No, it sounds so
That's
good.
cool.
Okay,
They're
well,
a little hot in the mix too, I must say, JR. I don't know.
he's like, JR, pump me up a little bit.
Oh, unbelievable. Sprinkle's like, I can't hear that harmony. You got to boost that.
I want people to know it's me if they
Yeah,
know what
right.
I sound like. That's so
Yeah,
good.
he knew there would be a moment on a podcast 20 years from then
That's right.
where one eagle-eared listener, Josh Olson, would be like, "That's Sprinkle,
That's gotta
right?
be him.
That was for you."
Gotta be him. That's always like a fun little Easter egg when you're like, or you're listening
Yeah.
to like Southern Weather and you're like, there's Aaron. I hear him. Aaron Sprinkle, not Gillespie, but
I was a huge Counting Crows fan. And I noticed in all the Wallflower songs, I'm like, that's Adam Duritz. And I checked the fine print, and sure enough, it was.
Dude,
I love those
those
things
moments
as well.
are actually really fun for a listener that's really connected to the artist and their community, right?
Yeah,
It's like a treasure. It's like a little Easter egg.
it is.
it is.
I love
Happy
trees
Easter,
like
y'all.
It's a hawk egg, if you will.
Okay.
If you just find it
Even better.
in a nest out in the wild.
Yes.
I would love to ask about Bring 'Em Out. Last time you talked about the story of landing the song for the movie. And I'm also just curious of just like how that works of when you're writing a song for a movie, are you sending them stuff and they're like, change this, we want it to be this way? Like, I know that they were like, we like Recess, but I'm just curious, like, just take us through that whole process of like the timeline of like, was this the first song that you guys worked on for the record because the movie was coming out?
No, this wasn't even on the record. Bring 'Em Out wasn't even supposed to be on Smile. It happened so far after we ended up throwing it on the album at the end.
Okay, so you guys had
Oh.
already done the record before?
Well, we had in our minds, it was,
Okay.
we had this song, we hear this song, we had it all mapped out, right? And then we're like, oh, we got to Bring 'Em Out on it now. So we
It's our
That's
big
track.
movie song.
yeah, people will know us by this, you know? God forbid something on my mind be track 4. Oh, sorry.
It's true. I love how much beef you have with this song now.
You know I'm going to play it on this tour now. You know it's going to happen.
You have to. It's so fun.
I played it this morning for fun. I'm learning all the Small Town of the World songs, relearning them all because I'm bringing it on the road, right? So I need to go over all these songs. So
You're bringing them out on the road?
I'm bringing them out on the road. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
baby.
So like writing that song and everything, how much did, I guess, the studio, or I guess it was the studio, not Tooth and Nail, but like the movie studio, was it like sending stuff back and forth trying to figure something out, or were they just like, yeah, just make it like Recess?
Yeah, they're just like, can you write something like this? And then it was a one take. We're like, here, what do you think? They're like, perfect. Let's go.
Cool. And
There
there's a version with Drake Bell in it too.
There was quite a time crunch on the movie thing as well. Like everything moves so fast in Hollywood, I guess. So they were like, where's this song? We need the song. Oh, well, we're in the middle of tour right now. I can't record it till this, And so they're like, we need the song. So I think it was more of a, this is good enough, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Wow.
so when you guys tracked it, you like took a break from tour just to track the song.
Yeah.
For the
we
studio.
went literally, like I said, it was not even a full day. We flew into the studio in Seattle and did it.
Crazy.
Throughout, continued our run.
That's crazy.
And then, so for the version that Josh just referred to that has Drake Bell on I think it's the second verse, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever meet him, or
Yeah.
I guess they did that separately? Were you there when he was tracking?
No, we worked together for the movie, obviously, and
Right.
then worked together a few other times. We did a show together in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I can't remember the venue, but we shot a video for it as well. And he was there
Nice.
at the show. Renee Russo came out to the show as well.
Oh, cool.
And they were just there. And then he came out and sang the song with me
Nice.
for the show. And then obviously they filmed it and put together a music video for it too. But that's such a wild experience,
Right.
man.
But that's not like the one
Yeah,
that's in
I'm
the
sure.
movie though, right?
Say again, sorry?
Because didn't y'all film like where you're in the movie as well,
Yeah.
like performing it? Was that a
Yep.
separate time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did we worked together at least twice. There might have even been a third thing where he came to a show or something, or we did a show together or whatever. But yeah,
Crazy.
What's that like to go from the year before, like and I don't know if it was like earlier 2004, but Letters comes out in 2004, and like the year before, I remember you telling us this story of like hearing for the first time on like the speakers, you're like, whoa, this sounds amazing, and then like a year and a half later, you're you're in a movie. Like, what was
Yeah.
that? What's that like for you?
You know what? If I could say, I wish this. I'm a dad, so this sounds like the dad in me coming out. I wish I had time to just sit back and enjoy it, if that makes any sense. Because
I get it.
when Smile came out, it was just go, 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 go. We're flying in there, flying there. We're playing this. We're doing this. We're going here. It was just nonstop for like a year straight. So there was no time to just sit back and enjoy any of it. It just happened in such a blur. It went so fast that you forget, like half the stuff you're telling me, I'm like, I forgot we even did that. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then just telling these stories, like, oh my gosh, I'm just remembering this now for the first time. Like, it's I wish we had time to just soak it in and enjoy it more.
Yeah. I bet it does feel like a blur, especially looking back.
Yeah.
It was 20 years ago now.
Mhm.
But man, but what a cool blur. Like a
For
blur
sure.
full of rich, amazing memories.
Yeah. Dude, we did Spirit West Coast in Monterey, and Renee Russo flew her private jet to the festival to watch us play. And then like she's just
Wow.
watching backstage with her daughter. And then afterwards, she's like, let me take you guys out for dinner. So she took us out for dinner to this little like restaurant. They shut the entire restaurant down for us. I mean, for her. But like it was like, what kind of world do we live in where we're sitting in this restaurant? They shut down the restaurant for us so we could eat in peace and just chat with his like, I mean, she might not be an A-lister now, but like at one point she's a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah.
And she just
Yeah.
flying her private jet to watch her favorite band. Like, get out of here. And then for like 3 months, she'd call me like my mom. She would just call to check to see how we're doing and make sure we're
That's-
staying healthy and eating on the
That's
road.
really
stuff.
sweet.
Like,
Oh
what the
my
heck?
god, that's so wholesome.
it's crazy.
Wow. I love that.
So,
That's
Wow.
so cool.
Give it up
Yeah.
for Renee.
Make sure you're not using your per
Man.
diem money for just buying CDs.
you're buying guns with your per diem money.
Got to
I
eat
did
food
that.
with it. You did.
I bought a gun with my per diem money.
That's a lot of per diem. I imagine you had to save up for that.
No, it should have been, but yeah, there's more to that story too.
Okay. Living large.
All
then.
right.
Yeah, I love teaching myself lessons, put it that way.
That's crazy. That's very funny.
Fair enough.
Oh man. Yeah, no, that's so crazy.
Okay.
Just the turnaround on that. Yes, TJ.
Jason, do you feel like digging into some lyric stuff?
Hit me. Let's go.
All right, because I'll start top down. I really feel like this album. Well, I've got a question for you, and then I'll get to my other point. I feel like this album is a sort of maybe secret, maybe not so secret, loose concept record, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's all these songs that, in a way, apply to a world, a quote world ending, whether it's a relationship or losing somebody close to you, that their world ending. You know, that's very, very bleak, very real, very, very hard. But a beautiful song and a reason to share something. But just in general, the idea of the world ending and kind of this almost like Joker quality, like the smile aspect, right? Like, let's party,
Yeah.
let's go to a show, bring them out, like, let's celebrate in spite of the fact that everything's falling apart, right?
Yeah.
And so there's all these different ways that a lot of the songs, maybe not all of them, but like maybe all of them, but certainly I was able to track a lot of them thematically lining up in one way or another with this idea of the world
Correct.
ending.
There's
and
always
kind of
at least a nugget in
having a
each
grin.
song. Maybe not something
Right.
on my mind. Yeah.
So my question is, I've got a few like sort of follow up things that I wanted to run by you, but my initial question is, I've heard there's a song out there that shares the title with the record that didn't make the album.
Yeah, I was going
Tell
to
us
mention
about that.
I would love to find that.
Oh,
Because
you don't even know where it is.
Did it get tracked
Oh
in the studio?
man,
We tracked it.
Sprinkle's got it somewhere.
Sorry, I don't know. I can't remember now. Again, this was 20 years ago. I don't remember if we tracked it or demoed it. Now that I'm
Right.
thinking of it, was probably, I think we probably demoed it.
just
But it was-
pre-production.
It was kind of a cool song. And I can't even think of how it goes right now, but it was pretty cool. The thing is, I don't think we recorded because it wasn't a finished, fully developed idea.
Sure.
But yeah, it was a pretty cool song.
It's crazy to me to think about that there's a song start or a song idea, that there's a demo out there that exists in some form somewhere, and that song wouldn't make the record, but would go on to become the reason for the title of the record, that then informed, in a way, conceptually, all the songs on the record, or at least lined up with those
the
songs
title, the album
and
came
like
first,
encapsulated it. Okay.
but still, yeah.
It's like a good synthesis, right? It's like one sort of thesis statement
Yeah. And
Like-
again,
way to iterate.
I think honestly having a song with the same title might have just kind of devalued it. Like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, they're trying way too hard. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I definitely like the version of it that we have, because there's like a mysterious kind of lore aspect of, like,
Yeah.
there's a track out, there's a demo out there that nobody has heard, that
floating around and even the singer doesn't have it.
But somehow it's like kind of present in all of the songs on the record, maybe kind of
right,
thing.
it's like
Yeah.
connected
Yeah.
to the greater theme. So cool. Well, if you ever find it, or maybe if we get Sprinkle back on, we'll be like, hey, do you have this?
I know
Dig
I'm
it up.
jumping the gun here, but the next album is My Friend. You know the song One Little Miracle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We wrote that with Richard Marx. And also, you know Richard Marx?
I don't know if I do.
I feel like the name is familiar.
Wherever you go,
Oh yeah.
whatever you do. He's like an 80s,
Yeah.
80s rocker.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
he's like
right.
he's like a legend.
He
We
co-wrote
wrote that
that.
song with him. And
Wow.
he went back to his studio in Chicago and recorded the demo and sent it to us. And somewhere that's floating around as well. I would love to hear that.
Oh, just a version of
That's
him doing
crazy.
that
just
song.
him singing his heart out to One Little Miracle.
Oh man,
Man, I would love to
amazing.
find that.
that should have been on
Anyway,
the
crazy.
bonus the deluxe edition. You did the version with Amy Grant, which is cool, but then you could have had the
Yes,
Richard
that's true.
Marx
Yeah,
version as well.
Oh, just her vocally with Richard Marx. Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Just
That
like
needs
we
to
don't have
happen.
to. We don't have to be on this song. Just have other people
Yeah, I'm
write
just
songs
gonna
with
sit
us and
this
they
one out,
perform them. Yeah,
Give me a tambourine.
You guys got
I'll put a
this.
shaker on that. Yeah.
it's funny. So the title track song, was it like? Did y'all have an idea? Like, was it going to be like at the end of the record or like the beginning? Like, I don't know. Was it? Did you have like a place for it of like this is going to intro the record or like
No,
tie it
I
all
don't know.
together?
I think if we chatted about it, I think it'd be probably a killer secret track.
That would be cool.
I mean, actually,
I like that.
if you play 14 backwards, that's actually what you get. No, that would have been crazy. You're just finding it right now. If you play the whole thing backwards, yeah, it's crazy.
Backmasking on
That's the secret
CDs.
track.
There it is.
Uh-huh.
Or there's a track 0, maybe. Maybe it's still on there.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I do want to know more about TJ's. So, Jason, are you confirming TJ's theory that it is like a loose concept, like all the songs kind of revolve around that idea?
for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Validation.
He always does this. He does this with multiple people. Just another check mark of like another tally to people he's done this with of like, actually, that was what I was going for. Thank you, TJ.
And the song 14 was basically written right on the spot. Like that's like the darkest, like the most obvious lyrically,
Yes. That's
And it was one of those ones that I kind of wrote it in like a few minutes. It just kind of came. So
I love those kinds of songs.
Yeah, same. So do I.
Well, and I wanted to ask about the tonal
Lambs.
shift of, because like you guys ended Letters to the President very like upbeat, optimistic, long and lonely road, but it's still like it's got the gang vocals. It's very upbeat and everything. And then 14, like especially you have it's over preceding it and then going into 14, like you kind of like end on it's like definitely a down note. And so
it's weird.
More serious.
Like, what was like kind of the thought process?
Again, that's all trust in the producer. Sprinkle did mostly. He did usually all the track listings. He's like, you got to do this, and here's why, and he put it all together. And so I don't know.
So when this one arrived, like you said, essentially fully formed like that, was that toward the end of the tracking process for you guys?
You mean for 14?
One of the last? Yes.
Man, I can't even remember. Probably not. It would kind of turn into most times like we do a rock chart of everyone's song, but like there'd be a lot of things where I'd be just kind of tracking key parts for whatever is on the album. And then he'd be like, hey, while you're here, let's just grab that last one while the piano's pulled up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we
just
kind of
goofing around.
Well, we have the tools available to us. Let's just do what we got,
Yeah, that's cool. And what inspired were you just kind of like jamming on that chord progression and the falsetto vocal just like happened?
Yeah.
You just followed it? Because it's really beautiful, man.
Thanks. The hook started with the falsetto, and then the verses came later, just down the road. Like, oh, let's just do this, and
there
you have it.
It's one of those that like the simplicity is what makes it powerful. Like the nonverbal chorus.
Yeah,
it's not, like it's not trying to be anything other than what it is, and even just the choice to take the line up the last time the way you did,
right.
It's really, really nice, man. It
can't be that simple. You gotta.
Yeah, throw a little flavor in there, a little spice.
And was this written after you guys had already kind of cut the title track from the record? Because it does have like you're kind of like winking at the album title, like it does wrap up the album that well, because you have the end is near, the world is getting cold, I smile. So you're kind of getting a lot of those touch points from the lyric, from like the album title as well.
Oh yeah, sorry. We wrote the songs off the concept of the album. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, but was it before or like when the title track was still like in the mix, or?
Yeah, I honestly I don't remember.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I think we were like, we should write a song called Spots in the World, and then we kind of toyed with the idea. I'm pretty sure we just demoed it, and then we're like, I don't know, let's not.
Okay.
I have a feeling that
it just didn't ever get fully formed enough, maybe to earn its place. Quote.
Like,
but I mean, something on my mind made it, but that one didn't. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Why is it called 14? I hope I'm not missing an obvious
14
reason.
is my favorite number. And it's the 13th
Oh.
album track, but 13 is unlucky, so you just skip it. Like an elevator.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay. All right.
I see.
It's for those people that really
Right.
do, oh, why did they skip that number? Oh, they believe in that kind of stuff. I thought they were
It's 14, but it's track 12. What are
Yeah.
they trying to say with this? You know?
Yeah. 14 is my favorite
I love
number.
it.
I always try to do 14 songs on everything I do, but it doesn't always happen. So
It's a lot of songs.
a lot of songs.
It's a lot of
is.
songs.
It's a respectable goal, at least, to have for yourself.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
I did want to ask about, because the single was Everything You Ever Wanted, which performed pretty well on radio
Yeah.
from back in the day. Was that you guys picking the song for the single? Was that the label? Was it like the label did it and just told you, or you guys were like working together on that?
That was more the we were in the game now, and so we knew what we needed to do to become successful at radio. So we're like, we need to have that like power ballad that'll just rock people's faces up at the same time meet the soccer moms, you know?
Hit him in the heart.
Hit them in the heart.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And that
Specifically
was
the soccer
everything- that
moms.
was everything you ever wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
There it is.
Well, because I was like, especially off the first record with California being the big one, it's interesting for that to be the song that is like released for this one. But I guess you also had kind of Bring 'Em Out. So you kind of had that as a single too, of being like, we're
Yeah,
still
and
fun
we-
and energetic.
And we did
Right.
the video at the same time for The One Thing I Have Left. So that was kind of the first like
Oh,
introduction to Smile, because it was like, oh, okay, this, and then then Everything You Ever Wanted was the first like radio release. So it's like we kind of gave them two songs at once, and then Bring 'Em Out as well. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was like, I wonder if that
That's
was
cool.
that, because I read that more as a label of like, I would be surprised if
yeah.
you guys were like, oh, we really want to push Everything You Ever Wanted on this record.
in terms of like what to send to radio first, oh, for sure that was the label. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Which I mean, it worked. So
it makes sense.
It did.
yeah, it was a
make
good
sense.
choice on a commercial perspective.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So one of my lyric questions is, speaking of that song, who is the you? Who are you singing to? Like, I feel like,
I'm sorry, for
I've got
Everything
my
You Ever
theories,
Wanted?
but yeah,
Yeah, so that song was written about a friend of mine. So I grew up with Trevor. We grew up in the same church, and it was in our city, it was like the church. It was like everyone went. It was like massive.
Right.
My friends, the pastor's son was one of my best friends growing up, and we graduated together. And when he was about 16, his parents divorced, and so this was like earth shattering for our city, for the church. The
Right.
church split. Like the lead pastor can't get divorced, right? And then there's like, oh, why did this happen? Because he got married like a year later to someone else. So all these speculations were taken, and this like ultimately ruined my friend's faith in God and in church and in everything. Like, I know deconstruction wasn't really a thing back then, but like it really made him ask a lot of questions about God and faith. So this song
Right.
was more written about, not about him, but about that experience and people that may have gone through that as well. And, as Hawk Nelson, we always tried to write from our fans' perspective. People that have questions, that are looking for answers, we're hoping our lyrics and our songs would give them the answers they might be looking for. So that was the inspiration.
so
behind
it's sort of like it's like a hypothetical version, but it's kind of from his perspective almost,
Correct. Yeah.
like a sideways version
I'm thinking,
of like
yeah.
his
And
perspective.
it's funny, man. I was laying in bed the other day thinking about a few songs. Take Me as well. There's certain songs like where you're singing, but then it changes. It goes from third
Right,
person
the
to
perspective
first person.
shifts.
And that's just poor writing. that's what
I don't know.
That's my fault. I apologize.
I think
I was
sometimes
young.
that can actually be really effective. It can
I
make
mean,
it
yeah,
can challenge the
totally.
listener to like stretch their perspective of what a
it
song can
wasn't
be,
bad.
or like
It was just poor writing on my part. I apologize. I'll own that.
You can blame Trevor as well.
fair enough.
Yeah.
He was helping,
Yeah.
Well, when the
Dang,
quartet came in, they had all these changes. I'm like, oh gosh, all right.
Yeah, you had to appease him too. And you're like, well, these guys,
Yeah.
they want this song to do this, so we got it.
Yeah,
They're consummate professionals. They're out there gigging every day at the
yeah.
market.
They're probably still out there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, man.
I hope
I
they
like
are.
that.
I hope they have their own record studio that they're bringing guys in off the street. They're like, we
Oh, I
really
think
like
they're
you
selling
guys, you know?
CDs. I think they're selling CDs on in
You
their
know,
in their
Jack White was at the market just walking around, and he heard them, and he was like, "I'm
Yes.
the third
Sign them a
man."
deal.
Come
Yep,
on.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's like, wait, you sing on that Hawk Nelson album, did you? I recognize you guys.
we got to cut a
know
record.
that voice
Yeah.
Get in here,
anywhere.
boys.
That's so good. And in a similar vein, I would love to ask also about Zero, because like that was a big. You guys had the
Yeah.
music video for that one as well. Is that like another similar like? Was that a lived experience for?
No,
for you?
that was more for experience from talking with fans, meeting with people who've lost friends to suicide. And I mean, it's crazy, man. Suicide was and is such a big thing still. I think it's more like today. The amount of people in church and out of church that are struggling with their mental health. And back then, you didn't know about it like that, but it was something that needed to be remedied. And as a guy that writes songs and plays music, that was my medicine, you know? So
Yeah.
the amount of times people would say to me, like, what that song has done for them, whether they themselves or had a friend that committed suicide or thinking about themselves, like, and how that song has changed their life. It's powerful, man. Music is it's a very, very powerful thing. And yeah, I'm really proud of that song and the impact it's had on people.
Well, yeah, I rewatched the music
Yeah.
video last night, and I was just going through the comments, and it was so much of that, especially like within like the last 5 years. Like it wasn't just stuff from like obviously YouTube was like it's not really a thing whenever this record came out, but it wasn't from like 15 years ago. Like there was like stuff like post 2020 that a lot of people were commenting on. I was like, wow, like
Okay.
I don't know if you've read them in a while, but I was like, this is like really cool to go through and see like all the people and how much like this song has impacted people and. For obviously for people that sometimes you got to be careful.
comments.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be
Yeah.
careful. But on
I
that
know.
one, I can tell you it's very very positive.
One crazy thing about that video, and this was shocking to us when we arrived on set that day, is, and I can't remember who it was. It was one of the extras or one of the actors in the video. Their boyfriend or their girlfriend, whoever it was, had just committed suicide like weeks before the video.
Wow.
And all those things written on the pavement were real notes from that person. And so they brought that to the director, being like, "Hey, this is from my girlfriend or this is from my boyfriend." And they read them and like, "Oh my gosh, can we use these?" And so when they told us that before we was shot, there was this heaviness on the shoot the whole day, but it wasn't like a heaviness. It was like it was also like a calmness, like what we're doing today is going to change lives. And you could feel it. Even the people that didn't know what we were even about, but were there to participate in the filming, they could sense something was happening. And it was a really, really special thing that happened that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. I mean, it's like even just like from a creative level, I'm like, oh, that's such a great idea for a video of having like you guys standing over it and like you can see like you're in the frame and stuff like that. But then also like it's a cool creative decision, but then knowing that obviously it's like it was a real thoughts from someone that was in that same position as well takes it to a whole nother level. That's really cool.
Yeah, man.
I have to say also like Aaron's drum part on that song, it's unassumingly great. Like it's kind of like understated because it's just like you think of it as just like a basic snare roll, like the part where he the turnaround kind of thing, like and leading into the verses where he's doing that snare roll and then like a tom fill, and that's the groove. It's like snare roll, tom fill, snare roll, tom fill, but it's very very tasteful and complex in a way that elevates the song instead of distracting you and pulling you out. It actually like kind of makes the song work
it'd be
more.
easy to try to make more flashy, right?
Yes.
And it's not.
But in fact, it's like very thoughtful and like really skillful
agree.
in its simplicity. And it's just very tasteful. And honestly, like while I'm talking about him, just major props to that guy and his drum work on this record. Just in
He's
general.
a phenomenal player and a phenomenal guy.
We'd love to hear that. It's nice when both are the case and it's not just one or the other. But he has some really tasty fills all across this record, and is just a super tight, tasteful player in the punk pop vein. Like you can overplay and you can also be very plain Jane in that genre. And he does neither of those things. I think he like
balance,
threads the needle perfectly. So props.
Aaron Tossi, ladies and gentlemen.
Aaron Tossi. I also love the bass line on Hello when you're doing the bonjour, oui, oui thing. There's like a really nice, like walk the dog kind of moment. I just had to shout that out because
I don't even remember it.
Delicious. It's before the kazoos.
But I was going to say, it's before the kazoo solo into the key change.
I played that kazoo part one take, by the way. I just wanted to just preface that. Okay,
brush your shoulders off. Pat yourself on the back.
Self-taught, no lessons.
No big deal. That was your big one-take moment. You had 36 days on the first record, and then you're like, sprinkle this
guys,
one take with the kazoo.
I did a kazoo part.
Yeah, I can.
Funny, man, no one called me up later like, hey, is Jason Dunn available? We got this kazoo part. We just
missed opportunity.
He's the best in the biz.
We need the hello
He's gonna have a whole career being a session player.
On my resume.
So good. Okay, so we've talked a lot about. You've brought up something on my mind a lot. As just a song that maybe I would love to know what are some of your favorite songs, especially. I mean, you're well into it, very deep of doing this acoustic record. What are some of the songs that either were your favorite recordings from this one, or just like as you've like been going back into it to record it again, that you've been like, oh, I really like this song, or like we did a really good job of this part?
Yeah, my two favorite songs are The One Thing I've Left and Is Forever Enough. Those are the two best songs.
The heavy ones.
So and what's the other one? Nothing Left to Show. Is that one?
That's the one with Josh. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Mm-hmm. I wish we did it differently, but again, I don't know. I could have had a more of an MXPX vibe, which I was going over today, and I gave it more of an MXPX vibe. I'm like, oh, we should have done it like that, but it's too late. So, anyways, those three, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Zero was good too. I will say, pre-production, Sprinkle had a different vibe to it that I had in my head, and obviously I trusted him and went with his. But I'm like, I wish he did it the other way, but it's fine. He changed the progression in the pre-chorus, which got a little bit too interesting. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. What was the vibe that originally that you were trying to go for? Just super straightforward.
Whenever I play it live, I do it the original way. But like it's, I have to play it because it's going to drive me nuts. Sorry, I know if I'm wasting your time, just tell me.
No, live demo.
So it's
that's what we're here for.
That's how it was. But he went, it's not the same than what they say. I'm not a fan of that, but whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
You hear the difference? Like
a little bit. Zoom was struggling with the background noise, unfortunately, but that's cool.
But more colorful versus less.
Yeah,
colorful.
It's more colorful. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm glad you brought it up because you mentioned it in the letters episode last time, and I was like, what was it that Sprinkle did that he was like? Because I think you mentioned like a B flat or something, but there's at the very end of the song, there's like that the chromatic, you walk up the chord a little bit, and I was like, was that it that Sprinkle wanted to do? It's like the very end when you're on the piano on Zero.
Oh, Zero, yeah.
There's like you walk it up chromatically. But
was
okay?
No, I always just play like that. I don't know. Give it a little flair.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was the Sprinkle thing that he wanted to do. Or, okay,
gotcha.
It's the pre-chorus. Good to know.
I talked about it then too. See, this is therapy for me. I'm just getting all this off my chest.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Okay, I'll take this moment to say I think my favorite song is, I think it was probably back in the day too, is Head on Collision.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
That one's so good.
Yeah, that's a good song.
It is. And then my favorite part too, like it's a super catchy chorus. But then I always love when songs save something for the end. And it's like you guys on this one, you've already done the second, like the bridge, you come back to the final chorus and you're like, okay, cool, they're going to wrap it up. And then you go into like this whole outro section.
Right.
It has like you're singing ba ba ba's, there's a guitar lead line, and it's like it just it takes you think the song's going to taper off and you're like, nope, surprise, we have a whole nother minute of a new section that we're going to present at the very end of the song. And that's like always my favorite. So
Do you want to know what my
pretty cool
inspiration was for that?
what was it?
Petra, Beyond Belief. You know the end? There's
that's
a song,
great.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes
Dude.
from. Look at that.
Wow.
Fun fact there.
That's
Petra
so
shout
funny.
out.
I know.
I never
I love
saw that
that. I
coming.
love
That was
Petra.
not on my bingo card.
I know. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. This is excellent.
Okay. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, quit being so Canadian, Jason.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
Crazy.
No, that's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've gone through most of my stuff. Is there anything else, TJ, that you have? Any other questions you want to ask Jason while we're here?
Well, I mean, there's the "We Wish You a Merry Christmas"
Oh,
of it all.
yes. Please.
The what?
So I'm so curious. Are you familiar with the Reliant K "Deck the Halls and Bruise Your Hand" record? Not "Let It Snow, Let It Reindeer," but the
Oh,
It's on that
first
one
one
too?
they did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's on both. So so they have a song or a version of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" that has an opening riff that is eerily similar, like almost like in a spiritual successor kind of way
Oh, really? Oh, great.
to "Is Forever Enough."
Oh, no, we
like the
wrote
opening
about
riff.
Sum 41, not Reliant K.
Oh, really?
I love that, like shameless admission
yeah.
of a ripoff,
Nothing's original for
but
me. Come on.
different song.
Yeah. I actually never really listened to Reliant K.
Well, what I was gonna say is I'm glad because the riff is way too good to just exist on a Christmas song. Like
Wait,
it
so who's
needed
came
like
first?
theirs. I think
Oh.
unless y'all wrote "Is Forever Enough" in like 2002 or something.
No. Oh, that sucks.
No, it doesn't suck. That's my whole point. Is like the riff is too good to just exist on one little Christmas song. It's like 2 minutes long.
Yeah. What's the song? We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to have a
Josh,
good
do you
laugh.
have it? Can you pull it up?
We're going to do this live and on air.
Let's do
I'm
it.
excited for that.
So wait, before we hear it, Jason, did you write the guitar part on "Is Forever
No.
Enough"? That
No, I'm not
opening
going
riff.
to No.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
so
I
this is-
didn't. I
This
I
is
didn't want to
Steingart
assume.
here.
I think Derek Wibley did, or maybe Matt Thiessen did. I don't know. We're going to find out here, aren't
We're
we?
going to find out. That is true.
Send all lawsuits to Hawk Nelson. My hands are clean of this.
Right here.
Sick riff.
Great riff. Okay, you're familiar with this one, Jason? All right. Here's "We
Got
Wish
it.
You a Merry Christmas."
I like ours more,
That
though.
came out in 2003.
Okay.
See, that's my whole thing. Is the way I feel about it is I like both of them, and I'm glad they both exist. And I am so glad that that riff exists beyond just a Christmas song.
Yeah,
like I
'cause then
love
I
Hold
can't
on,
just
I got to
listen to
find
it too much
where
out
I
here.
thought it came
Yes,
from.
that's the next one. You said Sum 41?
Sum 41.
Yeah. Is it from Chuck? It might be Where All the Blame. I can't remember I can't remember what song it's from, but I mean, I'm a big Sum 41 fan, still am.
I mean,
I forget which song it is, but
there's nothing new under the sun, and
Yeah.
good artists
especially in pop
steal.
punk.
Yeah, especially in pop punk, and that's fine. It is. Again, I think it's excellent. I discovered that, and I was like, oh, sick! This riff goes beyond just a Christmas EP. That's the
like,
best news ever.
I'm not trying to. No, I am trying to promote it. I have a new album coming out in May, and I'm doing it all myself for the most part. So like my
Nice.
guitar playing is, I mean, it's pretty limited, but like for the style of music I do, like all my riffs are very similar. But like if I'm gonna A and B my album today, like it sounds pretty early 2000s pop punk. And I'm like, it's probably gonna be like
Great.
some 41 riffs even again, you know what I mean? And there ain't
Beautiful.
nothing wrong with that.
No.
Don't be ashamed either.
I'm not.
No, baby.
Exactly.
Music's so good your 5-year-old can play it.
Hey, 3 chords and the truth. That's all you need.
Right.
So, if I'm counting correctly, does that mean you have 2 records coming out soon?
What do you mean? Like,
Okay, well, you're working on the acoustic version of Smile.
so yeah, so no, I did this album. I got it finished like just after Christmas. I've been working on it literally for 15 years, and I finally
Wow.
like, I'm just gonna do it. But then because I've played this game, I know how it goes. I'm like, well, I gotta make some acoustic versions. So I record all my acoustics in here, and I have a buddy that records his, and we combine here, and I'll do my vocals here. But then I'm like, oh, I should do some Smile songs. So I did like, everything you ever wanted. And then I'm like, oh, what if I did this one like this? And then I was like, oh, what if I called it Smile with Friends? And then I just reached out to some of my old tour mates that I used to tour with and see if they'd be interested. So then I reached out to a couple of friends and I'm like, hey, remember me? And like, do you want to do this song? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So I sent them the songs. And if they send them
Nice.
back to me, then I'll have like, I'm not going to do a full album because that's too much work. But even if I'd get like 5 or 6 songs, just to pay
Yeah, that's great.
spots into the world. And just a 2026 stripped down version,
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
Nice. Well, that's exciting, man.
nothing may come of it because I'll end up coming with this other idea and I'll put all my focus and attention on that. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I forgot I was going to do this 3 years ago. That's the story of my life right there.
That's the life. That's the story of an artist. I feel like an artist's life.
Yeah.
So okay,
True.
So that's coming back, or I guess you're waiting on some songs from other participants to get back on that.
Yeah.
What's the other record that you said that's coming out for 15 years in the making?
Yeah, I have an album called Formerly Known As, and it's by me, and it is very it's the most pop punk thing I've done since my Lights Go Down album. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
Lights Go Down was a little heavier. This is just very if you're listening to this, you're like, I'm in high school right now. That's what you're gonna think every time you listen to this. It's a transformation from where I was in Hawk to who I am today. A lot of the songs sound like I'm harboring all this like anger and bitterness, but in reality, some of these songs are literally 15 years old that are finally coming to see the light of day. So it talks about starting over and, meeting my wife, who we've been married for 10 years now, and, having kids, and like my son who's just born, but now my son's 9. You know what I mean? So like these songs are not new, but I'm like releasing them like they're brand new. And I don't know. There's songs I'm really proud of, and I've spent a long time with them, and they've marinated. And yeah, I hope you guys check it out, and I hope you enjoy it.
No, that's awesome. Were they all? So they were written a long time ago. Were they all like recently recorded, or some of the recordings older?
Recorded and re-recorded. I have like a hard drive full of old like stems and stuff. So then I was like, oh, I can use these drums because these drums are sick. But I'm like, I can do way better on the bass, or guitars could be a little bit tighter. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. So I've got a bunch of buddies. I've got some friends in New York, Los Angeles, and Nashville, and Ireland, believe it or not. And we've just been teaming up remotely and turned out to clean the thing out, and locally too. So I've got some friends here, and yeah, it's been a really cool experience. I've never done anything like this, so I hope it doesn't stop. Yeah,
no, it's awesome, and I like the artwork looks great too. So I feel like it already sets a good vibe.
You know what, man? Everyone's like, dude, that's AI. And it's actually not. It's the idea came from Life in General, from MXPX. I actually had the idea. Cool. I'm like, I told my manager, Jeff. So my manager, Jeff, is a graphic designer. So he does all my artwork. So I'm like, Jeff, I have this idea to do like, I don't know, I want to have like a guy in like a mascot costume or like being in like a bully, like in a locker, but like kind of cartoonish. He's like, you mean like Life in General by MXPX? I'm like, oh yeah, shoot. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay. Well, I rip all their songs off. I may as well rip their artwork off too. So then he came up with the art, and it's perfect. Guy wearing a hawk mascot costume, stepping on the hawk head. Get out of here.
No, that's great. It's so
that's
good.
great.
Exactly. And then, like you said, kind of takes you from that to present day.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And yeah, now because I don't work anymore, I stopped working at the church in Christmas. At Christmas was my last service. So now like I'm just planning to go on the road again in April. But this downtime I have, I'm just writing and the being just at home writing and touring has just inspired me so much. So like I'm constantly just cranking out ideas right now. And there's always ebbs and flows to like creativity, right? So I'll go on like a dry spell for 3 months, but then you'll just hit and you're like, you'll just go for it. And I'm in go mode right now, which is super exciting. So I was just ripping at this morning on the piano, and I have no voice, but I think I've got a banger I'm working on, boys. Oh, let's go.
Sweet.
All right,
dude,
just
that's being in that flow state.
Don't let it get buried,
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah.
Keep the ideas coming, but make sure someone's finishing them on the back end.
I know, that's it. And so I've got my team aligned now, which is very helpful because otherwise they'll sit in the ether or on my hard drive and I'll forget about them.
We get that.
Yeah, dude.
I think Josh and I and Kylan, wherever he is listening to this now, all relate to that. We understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
You got to have all those different people on board.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, very excited for that. I guess we can start kind of wrapping things up, unless anyone else has anything else they'd like to add. I do have one final question for you, Jason, before we close it up. Obviously, very excited for all the things you're doing now, and you got on the horizon in the future coming up. As we wrap up our discussion on Smile, though, I would just love to know, just what are your thoughts on it 20 years later? How do you feel looking back at it? You've kind of talked about it a little bit here and there, but just what do you think when you think about it? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I mean, I'm very thankful for that album. Like that album itself, it launched our career. Like it gave us the platform that we didn't have before. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it sold, but I'm pretty sure it was our biggest selling album to date. And
it helped you, like the music helped you bridge the gap to the mainstream audience, like pretty effectively, right?
Dude,
so
here's something crazy. I remember we had like an off day and we were in Nashville or something, and I was just killing time in Best Buy, and I was just walking around, and next thing you know, Bring 'Em Out came on like all like the flat screen TVs on like a football commercial. I was like,
yes,
that's me. I was like losing my mind, and no one cared. I'm like, that's me. I'm serious. And like, okay. Get this guy out of here. Get this homeless man out of here. And I remember that. It was such a cool experience. So
that's awesome, man.
Anyways, that album, it gave us a career, and I'm super grateful for that. So
nice.
As you should be. It gave me one of my first albums I ever purchased.
Thank you for that.
And it's still not the end of the world, and we're still smiling.
Still smiling.
So, I want to call this acoustic one Smile, We're Still Here.
That's great.
That's good. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
You got to keep the narrative going,
Why not?
I like that a lot.
That's so good. All right. Well, I guess last calls before I say that it's over. I was like, I knew there was some. I was like, I know there's a title on here that I can use. I guess that's going to be it then. I never have to wrap these things up. It's always Kylan. Kylan, you do a great job at this. But just want to thank Jason again. For coming on and giving us some great stories on Smile. This was super fun. Talking about such a big record that for you, and I know for people like me out there. And like I said, I was really just touched with like the zero video. Definitely check it out in the comments. It's really cool out there. Obviously kind of sad that some of it hits home so much, but it's like, I think that's just the beauty of art, of like how it can connect and still is connecting with people. All these years later, it definitely wasn't like, I remember this was from back in the day. It was really cool how that is still going on, and the impact it still has.
Yeah, because grief and loss doesn't go away. Mm-mm. So we do need art to help connect us in those moments.
Yeah.
For sure.
And just speaks to, I think, just writing a great song that connected then and still continues to do so. So you should be proud of it. As with all of them.
And
Even
all we can
something
do is
on my mind, you should be proud of it. It's a fun song.
Oh, all right.
from the official Church Jams Now headquarters, Josh.
That's right.
All I can say is we hope this episode was everything you ever wanted for any of the listeners out there.
That's right. Jason, do you have anything you want to plug? You talked about the record. Anything else that you want to plug at the end of the show?
Hit the road this spring with Seventh Day Slumber, Nate Parrish, Magdalene Rose. Leg number 2. The first one was so fun, we decided to do it again.
Where can folks find info about that?
I don't know. Instagram.
I know for
All
sure
right.
on Instagram. I see it on Instagram.
Is it jason.dunn.music? I believe it is.
Something like that.
Or just type my name in and I'll come
You'll
in. I
find
think
him.
I think
You'll
I'm doing
find
this.
him out there. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, so definitely check Jason out when he's playing shows. Keep a lookout for that new record that's coming out. Very excited for that.
Yeah.
If you want more, what does Colin say? If you want more
Nonsense.
That's
He
it.
always
If you want
calls
more
us
nonsense, it is a little bit of nonsense. We have more of it at our Patreon at patreon.com/churchjamsnow podcast. And for all of us here at CJN and TJ at the CJN headquarters, may all your favorite bands stay together. Peace out, Monfrères.
Peace out, mon frères.
Church Jams Now. Christian music from the 90s, 2000s, and today.
Thanks for listening to Church Jams Now. If you liked the show, please consider leaving us a rating or a review. It really helps, and we might even read your review on the show. You can also join our Patreon at patreon.com/churchjamsnowpodcast. Tiers start at $5 per month for tons of bonus content, but you can even join for free to get access to our discussion boards, cast your vote on future episodes, and more. Peace out, Monfrères.